Hello there! I'm Scotty. You're not. From the surf to the snow, he only knows one way to go. It's Johnny Tsunami! Yes, I'm finally, excuse me, checking out the one Disney Channel version of the movie from the 90s. That is obnoxiously loud. Hold on. Sorry about that. That I have not checked out yet. I've ticked the boxes on doing the three that I had left. Xenon, Smart House, and now Johnny Tsunami. Yes. Strawberry. And to be honest, this is one I was never big on back then. It was one of those things where it's one of those Disney Channel version of movies that we've covered before where kid gets moved from one place to another. I just did Going to the Mat yesterday, moving from one place to another. To a small part of that is A Ring of Endless Light, where it's not really different. I guess it's not the same, but it's like, it's not where they're from, but it's not, and you have Cadet Kelly is another one where she's forced to be somewhere she doesn't want to be, and then there's Smart House is different. I don't know. That they had Xenon, you can count, I guess. Where she goes, forced to go to Earth. In this, it's the you go from sweet Hawaii to Vermont. Why would I be interested in that? I live in Minnesota. If I want to see snow, I just look outside, bruh. You know what I mean? Just that's what it was. It's like, oh, we're taking a surfer guy and we're sending him to Vermont, where it's cold. Boy, do they underplay it. They do. They're like, oh, it's gonna be cold. He's like, oh, I'm fine. And he's just like, cold one scene, and then he's fine. And it's like, no. There is a major climate difference between Hawaii and Vermont. I gotta try skin on my lips. There's a major climate difference. You're not just gonna be able to walk into Vermont just fine. And showing he's just a little cold because he's wearing shorts and a t-shirt. No. No. There's a difference. There is a difference. There's a difference going from here in Minnesota. My friend Eric lives in Florida. There's a big difference. Right now, here, it's like 40s, 30s. There, it's probably the 80s. And that's a difference. Especially between Hawaii, which is hotter than Florida, and Vermont, which I guess is supposed to be the northest cold place. We're pretty north. We're the northest in the middle, although I'm southern Minnesota, but still. And it's cold. It gets cold. I don't know. I just think they underplay it. But anyway, we start with the setup. They're in Hawaii. And yes, I'm going to say it like that because that's how you're supposed to pronounce it. They're in Hawaii. And we meet Johnny Tsunami, or Johnny Kapahala. His grandfather is Shang Tsung. No, yeah, your soul is mine. It's Hiroyuki Tagawa is his grandfather, is Johnny Tsunami, because he saved some people during a tsunami. That's why he's called that, and he's got this medal that comes back at the end. It's kind of out of nowhere, but that's going to come back somehow because they mention it. One day when you're ready, Pono, this will be yours. And by the way, he's calling him Pono, Pono, P-O-N-O, Pono. Not porno, Pono. I know what it sounds like, because I heard it first time. I'm like, did he just call him a porno? I looked it up. Pono. P-O-N-O. Pono. I think it's Hawaiian for tadpole because at one point, a couple of times he calls him little tadpole. So I don't know, but yeah, and his grandfather's the best surfer to ever have the waves, bruh. And then his dad, who is chosen from Karate Kid Part 2. Stay tuned. I'm planning on covering those next year, finally. It means I'm going to have to do Cobra Kai. I don't know. I'm doing 10. That might not be one of the 10. I might push that to another time. But anyway. Anyways. So, his dad tells him, we're going to move to Vermont because I got a job hooking up computers at this prep academy in Vermont. So we're just moving and everything. And it happens. It has happened. I've only moved a couple of times. Let's see. I've lived here since 2008, but as a kid. We lived in Iowa. We moved up here, lived with my grandma for a little bit, and then we moved into the apartment. We were there from 92, 93 to 2001, and then we lived in the blue house from 2001 to 2008. Then I moved here. My mom moved in with my current stepdad, and my siblings did too because they were still, you know. But yeah, so is what it is. But yeah. So now it's a fish out of water story where he's from Hawaii, but now he's in Vermont and he can't fit in, and yeah, you go the extra mile to make it awkward. Like his uniform is not ready, so he has to go to school with his regular clothes. It's like Hawaii. He only has Hawaiian shirts, whatever. Yeah. And while he's at school, he meets the bully named Brett, who I don't know has been in anything. But also, he meets Xenon. Yes, Kirsten Storms is here as Emily. Johnny loves Emily. Rocky loves Emily. Rocky loves Emily. But, yeah. Wrong movie, by the way. But, yeah. Now that I say that, the problems between the dad not liking the grandpa, he's the bum, that's pretty much the same thing as the dad from Three Ninjas. Like, oh, I don't like to spend so much time with the grandfather. He's teaching him that stuff. And that pretty much the same kind of conflict. And there's a girl that he likes too, and there's bullies. You know? When there's no karate. So, the bully invites him to go skiing, because they don't have surfing here, so go skiing. And like, can you do it? I can do it, fine. Skiing is hard. It's probably easier than snowboarding, but skiing, I've tried it. Now, I got fat ass feet, okay? Because I have web toes. Yeah. Oh, that means you swing good. No. No, that is not what it means. It just means I got... I'd show you, but that would attract a whole other audience, and I don't want that. But, like, yeah, I gotta get extra wide shoes for that. And so, as you would expect, my feet did not fit in a lot of things. I had rollerblades growing up because I saw Ranking went, I want to do that. But my feet barely fit in those. It hurt because they weren't wide enough. And then same thing with the skis. They say you could use your own shoes to put in there, and that worked. But if you had to use the other ones, no. If you had to use the ones they had, no, that wouldn't work for me because I say my size, and they're like, well, it doesn't fit. And just use your own shoes you could do, and then you gotta try to work and make sure you don't cross where you're walking and I'm falling down and shit. I was not the best at skiing, let alone snowboarding. My brother had a snowboard. I don't think I tried it. I might have tried it once. I don't know. But skiing is easier, I think. But of course, he's not very good at it, though he does. While up there, he meets Sam, who is Silverstone. He's a famous Jet Jackson. Leah Thompson Young, rest in peace, playing Sam, who's an urchin. He's got the very 90s hat, you know, the snow hat where it's got the little thing sticking out. That, yeah, he's got that. Yeah, and we get a cameo from another person from another surf movie. We get Steve Van Wormer, who plays two roles in this Brothers, but he plays the owner of this ski shop, this snowboard shop that helps Johnny get snowboard stuff. I'm like, wait a minute, that's the dude from Meet the Deedles, who's not Paul Walker, the other guy. I'm like, I go, hey, that's Steve Van Wormer. People go, who? I know him from Meet the Deedles. People go, what? I'm pretty sure nobody knows who Meet the Deedles is, but I'm gonna have to talk about that movie at some point. We're not done with Dis-Cember yet, folks. Okay, I'm just saying. And so they go over the top with where the dad is like, well, you can't do this stuff. I think he gets in trouble too much because there's, I don't know. They explain that the mountain is split into. One half gets the skiers because they go to Sky Academy, and the other half gets the urchins. The skiers are the skies, and the other one, the urchins or the snowboarders, because they go to public school. And it's like, why would that be a thing? They do explain it later in some rush dialogue at the end of the movie, but yeah. So naturally there's a turf war. Brett's like, you stay on your side, urchin. Huh. I don't have toxic masculinity, you do. To make things worse, the Xenon's Emily's father is the headmaster of the academy, who is also the evil president from 24, which I always found unrealistic because there's no way we'd actually have an evil president. I mean, just moving on. So yeah, and he's kind of the dress code violation because he gets his uniform, but he wears a Hawaiian shirt. I think it looks fine. I think it looks cool. But like, no. You have to dress. You have to be a robot. You have to be a robot, and you have to dress like everyone else. And the girls dress like that. I mean, I guess I have dresses, but still. Yeah, so he gets in trouble for that, and then he gaslights Emily, I'm just going to call her Xenon, into going snowboarding with him and Sam. And there's an incident where she's not paying attention. She goes off the mountain and is hanging there. And so they go to try to save her, and Sam falls down the mountain. I'm like, okay, that's a little too much. So now he has to go down on a snowboard and get a ski patrol. So what I like about them practicing with him starting snowboarding, he's not just perfect. Like, you know, like a cheap kids movie would have him just be perfect right away. No, he fumbles at it. Even when he goes, at this point he's learned more, but even when he goes to get the ski patrol, he's still falling down a little bit trying to get him. So I like that. So he gets the ski patrol, they save both of them, and then he gets in trouble for it. So does Sam, whose dad is the military guy in the episode Zach's War of Saved by the Bell. Oh, we're gonna try. That guy. I haven't talked about that episode yet. That's like a season 2 episode. I'm gonna go back to that, I promise. I'm gonna talk more Saved by the Bell next year. Next year's gonna be about TV stuff and those 10 franchises I said I was gonna do. Hey, 3 or more. So if they're just 3, it's fine. Just saying. Anyway, I still gotta figure out. They're on episode 17 of season 7 of Smallville. I gotta figure out how to fit that in before they finish that. I don't think I'll be able to. I don't know. Unless I try to do. I don't know. Well, we'll just see. Anyway. Though you could be confused because by now I could have finished it. Because I got stuff set up to set up the Christmas background I've done with this. So. Not this video, but anyway. So yeah, he gets in trouble for that. And then they go back out on the slopes and Brett shows up with his buddies and Xenon and there's a fight between the two. Somehow that ends up involving the headmaster of the school, but the fight didn't happen on school grounds. Because, like, they're in a fight, and he's like, don't worry, they're not going to find out about it. And it cuts to at school, and the headmaster's all like, students do not fight with other students. I'm like, dude, they didn't even fight on school grounds. Why is this a problem for the headmaster? It makes no sense. And he tries to explain that he didn't start it, but Brett has already lied and said that he did start it. And we never really get a conclusion to that. There's no scene between them where he apologizes. Later it's mentioned where she's like, my dad told me you took the blame for it. No, the fuck he didn't. No, he didn't. He's like, no problem. I'm like, what? Who wrote that? He didn't take the blame for anything. Brett framed him for the fight. Unless she's talking about taking blame for something else. I don't know. But like after she almost died, well, we're supposed to believe she's almost died because they show the screen of them hanging, and then when it cuts to a close up, they're just like on a snowdrift or something. Very obviously, they're not in danger, but you know. And then this kind of echoes Lemonade Mouth, where everything has to go wrong. So this happens, and then like the dad's had enough of his shit. But the mom tells the dad off too. But he's like, you need to come in the house. Come on, let's go. And Sam shows up. He's like, hey, can I talk to you? Not now, Sam. He's like, it's kind of important. Can I get 5 minutes? That's all I need. He's like, my dad, who's a military man in this one too. He's getting transferred to Iceland. I just want to get away from the snow. Actually, Iceland is green and Greenland is full of ice. If you watch Somebody Talks To, you'd know that. Or, looked at a freaking globe. Or a geography book. There's no ice in Iceland. It's green. And Greenland actually has ice. So, yeah. But, yeah, they're like, oh, okay. And then his dad has the audacity to say, maybe him moving away is a good idea. You can focus on your schoolwork. I'm like, he just doesn't want him to have any fun. Like, he just... I don't know. And that's when the mom really kind of lays it on him. He's like... So, their solution is to hop a military transport off screen that gets them to Hawaii. They had no idea how to make that work, so they just didn't show it. Somehow I doubt that even if they snuck aboard a military transport, they'd be able to sneak off of it fast enough. Once they got there, they'd be caught. I don't know. They go back to Hawaii with Grandpa. Calls him Pono. And he's like, yeah, and they show that they make him choose between his friends. He's like, you can only have one friend, I guess. Because his friend's like, hey, we're gonna go shoot some waves, come on. And the grandpa's gonna teach Sam, and he's like, no, you guys go ahead, I'm gonna stay here. And like his grandpa has the most surprise, hey, Bono! I'm like, okay. And like, I do like this conversation. He's like, Dad, you need to send him back. He's like, no, I won't. I know that you, but I know I have to. I'm not gonna. What? Like, their souls are mine. No. He's like, I'm not gonna make them do anything they don't want to do, you know. And so it becomes a laid back way of talking to them and eventually convincing them to go back. You know, and you know, Sam's dad's not even mad. He's happy. He hugs him, right? Probably because of that conversation they had on the phone. But it's like, yeah. Excuse me. So, and the grandpa comes back with them. So now the dad's really all. But, like, he's grounded for that, but his grandpa takes him back up to the slopes. And he goes snowboarding. And because he's Johnny Tsunami, the grandpa is able to just snowboard like he's a pro. He's like, you never told me you snowboard. You never asked, Pono. Fair. You used the full house defense on me. Steph, why didn't you tell us what the diapers were? You didn't ask me. She's got a point. But they run into Brett, who's a big dick. And he's like, you gotta stay out the mountain. And it's like, but, like, first of all, like, which side are they on? Because they were doing the snowboarding, and they came down, and then here comes the ski dudes. And I'm just like, what side are they on? And it's, every time this happens, it's like, how the hell do they know they're even there? Like, this feels like they were watching them. I don't know, it's really weird. He's like, well, we need a race. He's like, how about this? We do a race, right? Whoever wins, whoever gets to the bottom first, gets control of the mountain. Well, if Brett wins, it stays the same. If Bono wins, if Johnny wins, everyone gets to go wherever they want. And the medallion's on the line because we got to bring Tat back. So they agree, right? And they set it up. And then, because this is almost the climax, the dad has a talk with Johnny. And it's like, well, I'm sorry I forced you. I can see how it's tough being forced to do something you don't want. Because of the conversation that he has with his dad where it's like, you never forced me to say anything. That's right. He's like, oh, I see. You let me do what I wanted to do. So, yeah, because like, well, you never told me I had to stay and be a surfer. You let me go and be what I want to be. That's right. So it's that whole situation where like, let Johnny do what he wants. So he apologizes to Johnny and have a conversation. So I was like, I know I'm grounded, but there's this race window. He goes, as far as I'm concerned, forget about the grounding. If only it was that easy to just get over grounding. And like, I've never done anything as bad as hopping in military transport to Hawaii. I can't imagine it be that easy just to let it go. I don't know. So it's time for the big race, and I'm watching this going, this is just rink. Because it starts with him pushing Johnny down, which is the equivalent to the scene in Brink where Val falls down and Brink tries to help him. He pushes him down and then goes off. Did you get that? Which still doesn't make any sense to this day because I don't understand why they did that. Like, if they were gonna have Val win, because that's what I always thought is that Val's gonna win. They're like, no, you cheated, you're disqualified. But no, he still loses. Here, yeah, he pushes him down like that's cheating. Oh, before they start the race, Xenon shows up. I'm just gonna call it and apologizes to him. And that's when she's like, my dad told me you took the blame for everything. No, he didn't. He was still framed. But, yeah, then they do the race. And it looks like it's going to be rough. Because Brett biffs it just before the end. I don't know what it's called. He biffs it. Johnny wins. He turns out Mupp. He's like, eh. They also introduced that the Steve Van Wormer's character has a brother who has short hair and glasses. And so they're brothers, and that's when it's revealed. The dad's like, hey, big party at my house, everyone's invited. You don't know half these people, but okay. So there's a big party there, and the brothers explain that their parents got divorced, and one of them went to public school, and the other one went to private school. And when their dad died, they inherited the mountain, and they split it down the middle because of where they went. So it's their fault. Now they're going to open it up to everyone, and there's no choosing sides, and haha. Right? So, yeah. And the movie ends with him and Xenon dancing. No kiss, which I was expecting, but no, just the dance. Just the dance. Yeah. Oh, and Sam was also there at the race because his dad got an extension, but then they also had a more extension for the party. And Sam's in the sequel, not played by Lee Thompson Young. Lee Thompson Young. He's not played by him, he's someone else. I also want to point out that they say that Johnny is 17 in that movie, but Brandon Baker was 22. But, you know. Which works if you hire a 22-year-old to play a 17-year-old that you haven't seen grown up on screen. But I don't know how it worked for this one, but who knows. But, yeah. I actually end up liking it. I give it a pretty good. I did this because I had to finish the 90s ones. I'll do a ranking at some point of the 90s DComs because I've now reviewed all of them. I don't think this will be high, but it'll be... Well, it's better than Horse Sense, which I have warmed up to, but it's better than that one at least. I think there's 9, so this will be 8. I have to look at what are there. You guys already know what number 1's going to be. Come on. I mentioned it in this review. Yes, there is a sequel, but don't expect me to review that. I've already looked it up, and I'm... Maybe some other time. I'm not really interested. I'm thinking of doing a sequel-a-thon where I add a few Disney ones. Just to put them in there. This might be on that. This and... Is there another one? Maybe not yet. I don't have any on the list, though. Maybe there's other ones. There's other Disney sequels to do. But anyway, what are your thoughts on Johnny Tsunami? As always, you like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one, brah.